Welcome racers, this is Badgerman and today I will be racing in the Gran Turismo World Series Manufacturers Cup. The first one we did over on Twitch live and it did not go well. That was about 2 days ago on Thursday. This is the livery I was running for today's race, the Dale Earnhardt Jr. livery, nationwide from Rick Hendrick. I think 2014 NASCAR livery. And the GT3 car, the Group 3 car, is actually Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s 1994 livery. The black number 3, good wrench, all that stuff. Let's actually head right into the qualifying. I had one Mazda Atenza, obviously the OP car, and one M4, the second OP car, really, in this lobby as well. And this is going to be my best run right here. As you see, about 1:10 left in the session, and we are heading down. At this point we're P5, pretty good, but 2 seconds behind the Mazda, and we're heading to turn 1, braking at the 50-meter board, sliding into the corner, not much sliding, but just easing the car in, powering out. VS is coming up, left, right, left, and right again. And we navigated very safely there. Got a couple cars behind us that I'm a bit worried about, so I was looking back all the time. Here again, 50 board, we start braking all the way down to about 160 kilometers an hour, a little bit more than that, which was really good here. Power out early, commit, and this time it works out. 200 kilometers an hour now down the hill towards the chicane. They've really changed this one from GT Sport. This is a lot more narrow than it used to be, which is probably a good thing. You want to take as much curb as possible without completely unsettling the car. A little bit of a slide there, that wasn't helpful. And at this point, look at the time remaining. I know that this is the last attempt that I have. Late on the brakes here, after the 135R sign on the ground. Ease the car out, and almost 3/10 up. This chicane also very, very tricky. You want to take the curb here, take the curb there, power out early, and to the final corner. Hairpin time, 50-meter ball once again. It is the best marker around the circuit, really. Every time you see a 50-meter ball, that's where you basically have to brake. And we power out early towards the line. We keep it narrow here, and what's it going to be? Is it an improvement? 8/10 now to P4. And we can't beat that. We only improved by about 2/10 of a second, but it is still P5. Make sure to subscribe and leave a like as well, and click that notification bell too, if you would be so kind. Once everyone's times are in, we realized that I actually needed that improvement. Look at P6. 1/10. So, we head to the final. We head to the race. 15 laps, but fuel, not an issue. Tire wear, not an issue. ×1 for both of them. These GT4 cars or Group 4 cars easily make it 15 laps on these tires and this fuel. No worry about tire wear either, that, oh, maybe they fall off. No, this is a 15-lap sprint, which is a bit weird. And let's look at the two drivers we're going to be involved with here. Mojo, right behind me, and Digger Deeks, PLCCC. And let's actually get started here for the race. So I was a bit worried at this point that my car doesn't have the power, really, to get a good start. And once we see the gaps come up, yeah, that worry was a bit uncalled for, because the BMW in front has worse acceleration, and the car behind from the Austrian also slightly worse. So it all worked well in the end, and we make our way up the hill here towards the widest, the longest of the 3 long corners. And I was trying to keep up with the 2 Spaniards in front. I was hoping that at some point the battling was going to start, and I see P4 going very wide there. I thought, what is going on there? And I think what happened was that the fuel in qualifying, it doesn't actually get sort of taken into account. But the moment you start the race, yeah, fuel matters. And you can feel it. So I think P4 was just a little bit shocked and surprised by it. So it was a matter of you know, adjusting to it. And because I am more of a natural feel kind of driver and not so much, ooh, I have to hit this marker perfectly every time, this didn't bother me so much, really. And so we immediately have this battle here, P3, P4, P5, all on each other. I already pulled the gap. P6 already made it past P7, the PLC driver. Already made it past the Austrian, Mojo. And so they were battling, they were busy. And we were busy of our own here with the two Spaniards, SJ and Mallory K. And I was trying to keep up with them. And here I was testing something. I was staying directly in the slipstream. I realized that there was wind, crosswind from the right. If you look at the wind map up in the right corner, you notice there's, on the main straight, there's crosswind from the right. And I thought, okay, if I stay directly behind him, what's going to happen? I didn't feel much of an effect of slipstream behind him. And I thought, okay, maybe it's down to the car. Make a slight mistake here. Let's not talk about that too much. But it happens. And I thought, there's not much slipstream there. What is going on? Was it because of the crosswind? And, you know, I had to test that theory. And we are going to, very quickly, as we fall off 1.2 seconds now, we're going to skip a little bit ahead and see what's going to happen further down the line. Same lap still, lap 2. Because at the end of it, P3 and P4 were battling. SJ was actually past there, and they're side by side. I get a little bit loose there on exit, but it's fine. I thought, okay, who am I going to follow here? Actually, he is P4, so he's a bit closer, and maybe that was a bit of a mistake because, again, crosswind, you know, maybe I should have stayed to the left there to get maybe a little bit of slipstream. But I probably was too far away to feel the effects of slipstream very much. Anyway, we skip ahead to the end of lap 3. And all of a sudden, I make a huge mistake here, and look what happens to the gap to the car behind. It was over a second. It's now 7/10, 6/10. I really screwed that one up. I make another mistake here. I get a slightly better exit, but not by much. And so we are under pressure here. I thought, okay, well, we can't really look forward much anymore. 2 seconds now to Mallory K. And we skip to the middle of lap 4. And look at the gap now to PLC. He's right on my tail. I thought maybe he's going to overtake here into the chicane. Nope, he decides against it. And thankfully, we get the better exit. So the next left-hander was not going to be his chance. But we come to the main straight. And once again, he's really close. 2/10. He's closing in. 10th and a half. But he's not close enough to make an overtake happen. So at this point, I'm not worried. Just hug the inside line, and we should be fine. You can't really overtake around the outside because there is no banking to this corner. If there was, it would be a possibility, but it absolutely just is not. However, you may have seen it in the thumbnail. Bonk! Massive moment there. Massive airtime. I was connected to the ground on one wheel for part of this. And I get damage to my rear left, to my rear bumper. Thankfully, that damage disappears within 30 seconds. But lose 2 positions in the process. So, really annoying there. Really weird how the curb responded there. But at the same time, I kind of like that. You know, I like it. It is somewhat realistic that you can't just muller over the curbs like you were able to do on GT Sport. However, this Austrian, I was almost going to say Australian, nope, he's Austrian, makes a mistake through the chicane, misses the apex wildly, and I thought, hey, this might be a chance here. We might actually at least get 1 position back. Maybe not 2 just now, but it's still 10 laps to go, but definitely 1. And so I see we're getting closer and closer and closer, and by the time we get to the main straight, okay, I was a bit careful here. Did not take the inside curb, the apex curb in the left-hander. I thought, okay, maybe try to go for a better exit here. Laid apex, get the car around. A little bit of a slide, but it's okay. Still the better exit. I thought, okay, let's test this. Still crosswind from the right. Okay, we feel actually the slipstream a little bit, but it's not that much, is it? Right at the end, we get close enough. Okay. So maybe the slipstream works like this. Well, 1 lap later, we get to try again, and this time I take the slipstream at first, and then I move to the left, and all of a sudden I feel there's a massive slipstream going on. I thought, okay, something's up. Something's going on here. I slightly tap my, I think that's, you know, in a touring car race, in a GT4 race, or Group 4 race. I think that's par for the course. Little bit of a bump there, but he keeps the position. Everything fine, no harm, no foul. And, you know, we have our spot where I think I could overtake at some point. And we skipped to lap 13 because not much happened. I wasn't close enough for the longest time. Actually, he pulled a gap on me of over 2 seconds. That is until that happened. He runs off the track into the wall and then makes a complete mockery of the final corner as well. I thought, I mean, you want to give me the position? You can give me the position. It's fine. He moves over to the right. I thought, okay, well, we have still crosswind, 2.3 meters a second. I'm going to be offset. Lap 14, penultimate lap. I try to get into the slipstream as much as possible, and I give him a little nudge, and I have to say that was accidental. That was not intentional, and you will see later on I did apologize for that. But you let me know in the comments down below. Is that par for the course in racing? Is that allowed because I have a Dale Earnhardt Jr. livery and, you know, Rubbin is racing? Or was that too much and should I have given the position back? I wasn't sure in that moment, so I just ran with it. I just thought, okay, well, I think, you know, I thought at the time, maybe it's okay. It was just a slight tap and it was accidental. You know, let's get away with it. But you let me know what you think if this was racing incident, if I was at fault, should have given the position back. He's still close, and I'm still worried that he's going to get me here, but now he makes a huge mistake in the chicane again. 0.7 of a second now, the gap. And this was one of my strongest parts of the circuit here. The chicane, and then this corner here as well. Get down to second gear, so we get better power out of the corner. And you see 0.8, 0.9. In the end, we skip another lap. 1.5, 1.6 seconds. It was all clear. That was all she wrote. And P6, the Super GT position. Greetings go out to Steve. Thank you very much for allowing me to finish in your position. P6. Are we on the right channel here right now? Anyway. P6. I was pretty happy with this. Of course, I was a bit, you know, wondering, like, what position am I going to be in? How many points am I going to get for this? Is this going to be enough? Or do I have to go again? But generally, P6 is the sort of result in this kind of lobby with my driver rating that I would take. And obviously, before that, I had to apologize to Mojo. So you see it right here. Sorry, Mojo, for the tap. For that tap. And thankfully, he responded shortly thereafter. For some reason, the message doesn't show up, so I'm scrolling. I'm like, what's happening here? What's going on? And then, oh, there it is. And he responds with, no problem. And so, very happy with that. There it is, no problemo. And finally, let's look at the points. 164 points for us for that P6. And I thought at the end of the day, you know what? I'll take that. That's enough for me. So I didn't do any other races, and I started preparing for the Nations Cup, and that video you will get to see tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, goodbye.